Everyone's personal information is important and needs protection. The Protection of Personal Information, or POPI Act, was signed into law in 2013. It sets the conditions to legally obtain, process, and dispose of personal information and the legal penalty for breaking the law. But what recourse is there for grant beneficiaries if their personal data is abused? CPS, a subsidiary of Net1, was contracted by SASSA to pay social grants to over 17 million beneficiaries. During the registration process, CPS took beneficiaries' identity numbers and fingerprints in order to pay them. This personal data found its way to Net1 subsidiaries and other companies that sold airtime, electricity, funeral policies, and loans. People claiming to be SASSA agents approached beneficiaries and duped them into giving their personal information to them. The beneficiaries later discovered that debit order deductions had been illegally made from their SASSA-branded Grindrod bank accounts. Tweefontein pensioner Zinge Ngema was angry to discover deductions coming off his SASSA grant at the end of every month.
Mani kwafika amantombazane awu2 ngezwe bethi ke bathunyelwa iSASSA basebenzisana negovernment basiza abantu abahola igrant abadala old grant nabanye abahluphekile abaparalyzed. Babasiza ngani? Babasiza nge-full parcel igroza. Mabefika kimi bafuna i-ID yami bathi baba ngababuza ukuthi le ID nisebenza njani ngayo? Ikhampaneni kuphi? Bathi i-branch yayo ilapha kwaMhlanga. Mari head office yakhona in Pretoria town. Bathatha ke ID yami babhala ngababuza ukuthi le full parcel ithatha how long ukuthi ngithole le full parcel because angithi siyalamba mosa sasebenzi. Yeah, but how very soon, very quickly, le nyanga izokuphela. Sisiyabheka inyanga yaphela. Imali ethi idonsiwe. Hayibo. Sicaleke manje ku groupana ukubuzana ngibabuza ukuthi hayibo nina nihambe kanjani lapha nemholweni wami niyamali ngithola ukuthi iyashota kudonse 90 rands. Uma ngithi ngiyabheka ngithola ukuthi le khampani edonsa le mali idonsa ngendlela ezinjani ngoba thina sisalinde i-full parcel igroza.
Human rights group The Black Sash, who've been at the forefront of dealing with many of these cases, say this is stealing money from the poor.
Issue that shocked us was that beneficiaries were approached by people in their village, in their own homes. These individuals told these beneficiaries that they were from government and that they were offering them food parcels on the basis of the fact that they were grant beneficiaries. And in order to qualify for this food parcel, you needed to confirm your full name and your ID number, but you also needed to give your contact information and also provide a dependent's details.
In the rural heartland of Tweefontein in Mpumalanga, Sophie Mnguni and her disabled daughter, Maria Skwasana, have had first-hand experience of this scam.
Bangithola ngivaka iwatshini inormal. Bawa bangena baklotshika baphethe incwadi. Bathi kithi bathi bayabhalika. Babhalika ukudla. Bona babuye ekhampanini. Net bayithi ikhampani le nethi mina ngakhohlwa ngokuthi ke kade ukuthi ke ngibathathe ngabathatha lula ngokuthi abantu bathi bakubhalika ukudla. Bathunyele ikhampani. Yani ikhambi ibhalika abogogo nabomkhulu nabaqhwalileko nenrandrana. Awa mina ngabhalika ngokuthi bathi babuye ekhampanini mina ngathatha i-ID yami ngabanikela. Bahlala kwahlala hawa kholo imalanga yakhamba inyanga yaphela. Agaye emholweni ngathi ke khola ke wanje ukudla nakho khola kufiki. Nekufika emholweni nekithi kya check abaholi khale check imali yachota. Hawu imali yachota kanti njani? Nekubuka laba bomabo ke laba baholi kanti imali ngithi imali amli yachota. Bathi hawa ujoyine ikhampani ihlukati kathi ihlukati yiphi but awanataki yakhe mara ujoyinile ihlukati.
The company that scammed Skosana was Trans-Africa Life, a funeral financial services provider. Their agents prey on grant recipients, promising food parcels that never arrive. Instead, Skosana and others found unauthorized deductions for funeral policies from their Sasa Grindrod-branded bank accounts that they had no knowledge of signing up for. For Sophie Nguni, this brought hardship.
Thina bayasithatha njalo ukuthi ngithi bathola abantu abadala bodwa ela bangakafundi ukufunda kade singakafundi bayabona ukuthi laba bokumpara bakade ana lukhwalile na yakakafundi bana bathatha njalo ela bakhambi basenza boko kuphela abantu abajazange babenza mama sekune stress esinye utsengi nobulwele behliziyo bengingana kubana ngaphapha abanganethi khona lo uthi abantwana bamara bazibuza sebasuka khona beze ekhaya.
The Protection of Personal Information or POPI Act makes the selling of personal information illegal. It clearly states that people need to understand what they are giving permission for.
It's very important to note that a constitutional court specifically had 3 very important points with regards to personal information of grant beneficiaries. The first being that the personal information of grant beneficiaries must only, the processing of personal information of grant beneficiaries is limited to that specific information being processed only for the purposes of obtaining or considering a grant.
Grant beneficiaries claim that companies such as Trans-Africa Life, One Life, and the CPS Net1 group of companies, including Manje Mobile, Moneyline, and Smart Life, were exploiting personal data for commercial gain. Community organizations like Black Sash Partner, Edusizi Advice Center, and Home-Based Care work to assist beneficiaries.
What is happening between Trans-Africa is that Trans-Africa were opening all these accounts to these beneficiaries, but they don't have any policy certificate, any policy number. They didn't sign any mandate with SASSA. Even they don't even know about the beneficiaries or what to this policy it's going to take care of. And they don't know how much it's going to pay off at the end. So you'll find that this policy, it's useless to the beneficiary. It's of no use because even if someone can pass away, they don't know what to claim. They don't have any documents that can prove that they are the policy holders actually.
Ngambuza yena lona wesalsa mosmanje. Ngathi kahle uma wena ungangifostela ukuthi mina angihambe ngiyozifunela le company engayijoyina kuyo ngoba ngiyakutshela ngithi i-corruption lena bangenze yona mina ngangilinde igrozala ngizange ngithi mina ngijoyinele ipolice. Uma ngijoyinele ipolice ndingayijoyina njani ipolice ngiyi-1 kungena partner yami uma ngabe mina ngithi ding shona lapha ubani ozohambela ama-particular ami.
Most of the people in our area are unemployed, and then as there is no employment, sure, there's a shortage of food in the houses and so on, you see. So that's why they are taking advantage of that, promise them food parcels and all that stuff.
Abaningi abantu kwathi uma ngabe ngibona sekunjalo nami ngahlaba umkhosi manje sengohlaba maqondana nawe Thulana ukuthi hey nangu umuntu ongakhona ukusisiza lo muntu usebenza kwa Black Sash nakhona sesise ngisho ngoba ngibonile vele ne-uniform yakhona ithi Black Sash namaphepha owaphethe ngawabhekisisa ngoba ngangasathembi lutho ukuthi ukhona ongasisiza lapho. Nawuhlaba ke lemkhosi ke abaningi nabo ke bagrubheka baze beza badibana nawe Thulana kunjalo.
Mr. Ngema lodged a complaint with SASSA. When a SASSA official reviewed his statements, they discovered that he had a deduction for a Trans-Africa Life funeral policy for which he had not signed up and of which he had no knowledge.
The Black Sash, together with a community partner, held a community meeting in Tweefontein with the affected beneficiaries, and about 30 individuals came forward, all citing the same methodology by these individuals who had come into their village, who knew who they were, had come to their homes personally, and to access their information. And when they raised this issue with SASSA just confirmed that it was a deduction. They didn't even know who this company was. They had never given their information to any company to transact on their behalf and make any deductions. So they were quite shocked that this was actually happening. And due to this, we as the Black Sash approached Trans-Africa Life directly with the details from the 30 beneficiaries, who then requested that this matter be investigated on their behalf, that these deductions actually be stopped because they did not want this policy going on. They investigated the matter and they did find that their brokers had acted in a way that was not ethical. The CEO himself called me directly and stated that he was willing to pay every beneficiary back all their premiums that had been deducted, including interest on the amount. And in October of 2017, all those affected beneficiaries, a total of 28 of them, were actually paid in cash on that day and got full reimbursement for their claims, which was about a payout of about 34,000 rand.
Further investigations by the Black Sash and their community partners show this to be the tip of the iceberg, with potentially hundreds of thousands of grant beneficiaries still in need of redress. According to the SASSA Act and the POPI Act, the personal data of social grant recipients can only be used for the purpose of paying grants. It must be protected and remain confidential.
I was going to loan the money in the place for the loan. And when I get there, they take my card, SASSA card, and they put it on the computer. I didn't know if they want to change it. They didn't tell me that they want to change it. So after they making all the things in the computer, they bring me a green card and they bring me my SASSA card also.
The Easy Pay Everywhere Bank card, also known as the Green Card, referred to by Nomakosazana, is the product of Grindrod Bank and Moneyline, a subsidiary of Net1. Agents of both Moneyline and Cash Paymaster Services, who operated the SASSA PayPoints until September 2018, enticed beneficiaries to switch over from the SASSA-branded Grindrod Bank account to the EPE Green Card. Beneficiaries were told that they could only get a loan by switching from the SASSA White Card to the EPE Green Card.
When they take my card, SASSA card, I think that they want to get sure if I'm from SASSA. Then they can give me the money, because they say they want only SASSA people, then they can give me the money. All that, they just changed my card. They didn't tell me that they're going to make a new card for me. They didn't say anything.
With an EPE Green Card, Nomakosazana finds it harder to access the traditional SASSA PayPoints.
I don't like that green card, because when I go to Eastern Cape, I can't pay to the vans they come to pay in the Eastern Cape. I must go to town to have the bank there. In my place at Tala, the banks are very scarce. Otherwise, I must go to Ingawa or Queenstown. So that is a long way that. I want to find my SASSA card again, because I belong to SASSA card. I don't know this card.
MP Liesel van der Merwe serves on the Portfolio Committee for Social Development. She asks for better protection of personal information.
So, for example, there was in this instance where Inkosi Trebekulu, who's a member of parliament, once his mother passed on, he tried to access that funeral cover and the life insurance which she was paying for, but none of her family members were listed as beneficiaries. The people who were in this car, who forced his mother to sign up for things she didn't understand for, had listed their own siblings and family members to be the beneficiaries. And of course, they would see on the system, once his mother ceases to collect the grant because she's passed on, and therefore they would know now there is money for them to be collected. The people who are currently in the system are all victims of something that's happened in the past. So it's fine that we will now be protecting the information, but they've already fallen victim to companies who are not leaving them alone, who are still sharing their information, who are still stealing from them.
Paseka Letsatsi, Head of Communications at SASSA, acknowledges that there are challenges.
We've been directed as the South African Social Security Agency to make sure that we basically protect the data of our beneficiaries. Because we have had a situation where a beneficiary calls and the beneficiary says, look, I don't have a cell phone, but 100 Rand was deducted from my account, right? Hence, we have embarked on this particular campaign now. You know, we're moving from the old white SASSA card to a new SASSA Gold card. And one of the benefits of this card is that there's not going to be any deduction allowed. The only deduction which is going to be allowed in this new gold SASSA card is the 10% of the funeral cover and nothing more beyond the 10% of the funeral cover.
In November 2017, SASSA signed a contract with the South African Post Office to take over the payment of social grants. This new contract with SASSA makes provision for a bank account that excludes debit orders and unsecure mobile money transfers or USSDs.
The problem about that is that most of these beneficiaries are illiterate and so on, and that costs them. Basically, you'll find that their money have been deducted without their consent. So it's something that they are doing as they will because they know that these beneficiaries are vulnerable actually. Their mandate is just to get as many people as possible.
A former employee of CPS who did not wish to be identified explained how beneficiaries are conned into handing over their personal information. He outlines how this information was further used to enable illegal deductions for funeral policies, airtime, and electricity.
If you come for a loan, we will have to issue an easy pay card. Because we were told we must tell these beneficiaries that government doesn't allow the beneficiary to have a loan with the SASSA card. So we have to change the SASSA card to easy pay card. When he walks out there, he's got the easy pay card and the insurance policy without even knowing that. Because these machines that we are using are having the whole information. You just put the card and then you will see his or her information. That's it. We're using a Pioneer 30. We just put the card of that particular beneficiary and then I will see the whole information through this Pioneer 30. That's it. Who is she or he and the date of birth. All the information, it just comes there.
Those people, they just only ask for the ID. And then at the end, you'll find that maybe some of the monies are deducted. And then that's where we find that they take it without the beneficiary's consent.
After that, uma ngabe adibene nawo kubeke siye sikhoneke manje ukuthola la kule mali lena ukuthi sinikeze yona back. Kodwa ayizange ngibe sithi singavele nje ngayekela ngesizathu esiyi1 sokuthi ngangithe onke lama responsibility ami ukwehla ngenza ama open up ngema police station ngenza ama affidavit ngenza onke ama photocopy lawo ngifuna onke le nakhuzana yami ama waste bengiwa west ngathi akusenani ngoba nakho ngitholile kodwa angeke kusangiphinda namanje ngisashumela abanye abantu ukuthi must be careful for this time.
I just say to the other people, they must be careful because that place is not good at all. We didn't know that it's not good because they think that we do it, we just need to have the money. And we didn't know after to have the money what you're going to have. But it just put us in trouble because the government says she don't know this card.
For the beneficiaries now, they should be aware. They should not be. They should be careful of all of the people that will come and pretend that they are coming from SASSA, they are coming from government, in order that they just coming to take their personal information and use it the way they don't want. So they should be careful of everything like that. Everything that is happening, they should ask whether this guy or a lady is coming from SASSA and try to have a proof that that person is coming from SASSA or so on.
The current situation as we speak, this data is supposed to be in the authority of the South African Social Security Agency. We know we're using this. We've just entered into a contract with the South African post offices to make sure that this payment of social grants, this new system is such that it's in line with the instruction that we need to make sure that the data of the beneficiary is protected. Even if a person can take your information, this new system is not going to allow it. We are now working, we are now shielding the beneficiary. We are doing what we are supposed to be doing as the South African Social Security Agency to make sure that we work as a shield to a beneficiary, because sometimes people take advantage of poor people.
We get so many beneficiaries who come to us to say, we didn't authorize this, we don't know this company, we don't know how people are taking our money. And then when you look deeper, it actually could be a subsidiary, the company that's paying grants, or it could be other third parties that have had access to that information. And so many beneficiaries' confidential information is already in the public domain. Many of them are already on loans, deductions, etc. So hopefully with this new SASSA card, due to the fact that there are no deductions on this new card, we're hoping that all of those transactions will actually come to an end now.
Into nje kuphela semqoka mina ngibona ngathi ngakhona ukusiza umphakathi nathi thina singabantu abadala nabanye njalo abangazange bathole kahle imfundo ezikoleni ngoba sifanani sonke. Into engiyibona mina ukuthi kuphela ekhaya uma ngabe kukhona umuntu ofundile kufika umuntu lapha aphethe amabhuku, lo muntu njengayo ngokuphethe amabhuku nje thulani. Lo muntu ethi lapha usizana ngento eso vele emnyangweni wegovernment. Ningamemukeli lo muntu lo ongcono mangabe kukhona abantwana bakho. Angithi awufundanga. Abanye bafundile kodwa just for half away. Both side abancane nabadala namhlanje ngokuthi ngeke saphiwa sonke. Funa umntana wakho mangabe kukhona umntana ofunda khona ukubhekela lento ukuthi ithini. Into esengibaxwayisa ngayo yona leyo nto leyo ukuthi umuntu umethe ufuna ama-particular akho noma ngabe kumbe uphethe ama-slipper asebhanke ubuyodraw imali noma ngabe uphethe amanakhuzana izilipi zakwa-SASSA ohole ngazo. Keep ticking.
The information regulator has been set up to protect the right to privacy of all in South Africa. It monitors and enforces compliance with the Protection of Personal Information or POPI Act. Therefore, information such as ID numbers and biometric data cannot be shared without the informed consent of the individual. Those individuals and companies found contravening the Act face fines of up to 10 million rand and jail time of up to 10 years. No deductions can be made from your bank account without your informed consent and signature. If money is unlawfully removed from your account, contact your bank immediately and ask them to stop the deduction.